Just
Those
easier. I don't
the
know. Most
important
characters are around the same
but
height,
not annoying, less
besides
annoying.
like um, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke, which they're younger. So I guess that's why they're so much shorter than Tengen.
Why were they all the same height? Be right back.
That's right. The rest of it was Hina. Come on, baby. Figuring out where all our time wasting goes.
Right here. Talking, gathering thoughts. Okay. Hinatsu, she was the one that threw the kunai. But, you know. Gyutaro.
So did you guys end up reading the One Piece? And Matt, you said you read it. So why you said you were going to read it the other day?
Oh yeah, I read the scan. Ugh, so much.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. Makes it so much better for next time because this is Luffy's last bout. So
yeah, somebody in the comments I read on the below after reading the scan, they were like, "Oh, that chapter went fast," and like that chapter 1 did not go fast. And 2 was a lot of information to take in.
So let's not go into it too much. Spoiling stuff.
Fuck those you rocket.
I know, yeah, that's why I'm very, very excited.
I mean,
man, it was a lot to take.
That's the biggest clickbait ever. That would be the biggest clickbait. That's the title.
We are technically live.
Kaido died. One Piece, chapter 1041. Kaido dies.
I mean,
holy shit, the amount of views.
Spoiler: Kaido dies.
They took away the dislike button?
I know, yeah. That's like, Kaido dies.
That's so soft of YouTube.
Hey, people have fragile egos. Also, still wanting to
and then all that hate
cultivate more
afterwards. And it took away the dislike button. Nobody can not say that did not happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can dislike, but they won't say like how many people dislike your video. They won't show that.
Tanjiro Kamadao. Kambazuki Tampico.
Yeah, just lie to everybody. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, I guess.
That's so confusing.
Okay, we will do a quick count.
I'm gonna go 1 through 10. So he's testing audio on YouTube.
So
because the audio is higher, but what we hear is different than the audio on YouTube. And sometimes there's a delay or an overlay. So he's checking to make sure it's fine.
Twan, Cara, I think that's 10. Hit it. Yeah. Like I have the.
Okay.
Yep.
2.
So it's
3.
Because I have it laid out that it's like, what's it?
6.
I'm on the left side, you and Cara in the middle, and it's one on the right side. So that's
10.
Actually, never mind. Let's go.
Uzi
Me,
10
Dom,
again.
Cara, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You just like saying Uzi Tengen, don't you?
Okay, I'll just start
Uzi
quick. 1.
Tengen.
5. 9.
I don't remember his name, don't you? I was gonna get there. Gyutaro.
What are you watching? Oh, you're looking up the demons. Gyutaro and Daki?
Daiki. Just kidding. It's
Daki. It's not that
Not to be confused with Daisuke, which is I love you, right?
I strongly like.
Yeah.
I
do not Daisuke Daiki. Daki.
Okay.
Daiki.
We'll do another count again here. You can start.
1,
2,
4,
3,
5,
6,
8,
7.
9.
Uzi Tengen.
I do.
Yeah, I guess Dom went second. It's supposed to be Twan second, but Dom made it.
Oh, I thought that Dom was 1 second. Okay.
No, he doesn't.
It goes across the screen like that way because I see Cara, then Dom, and then me, and then, okay. I messed that one up then.
For some reason, I am delayed for no reason. Might as well do the sound check.
Sound check 1 2 1 2.
Alright, one more time. Dom, you can be second again, so you can say it again.
Yeah.
1,
2,
3,
5.
4.
You never said who's gonna be after that.
I know. Here, you see what I put up with every week?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt's not wrong. Or Twan's not wrong. Matt didn't say an order. He just told me I was second. So
I never changed the order. Okay, let's count one more time. 1.
Hold on. We're gonna start it. Twan, stay. You're 4, okay?
Yeah.
You're 4.
Okay.
1,
2,
3,
5,
4,
6,
7.
9.
8.
Uzi Tengen. Honest to God, Twan, I wasn't expecting you to say 8 because we said you were 4. I was expecting you to sit there and be like, "You guys told me I was 4, so I've done my part."
I don't have anything else to say. Just 4.
Nope. Why are you being dumb right now? I hope you guys can get that movie taken.
Uzi Tengen.
Just say it for the entire. Let's see that. Let's go advance.
Look. Dance too much.
Dance maker dance. Okay. What's that? My nose. 1,
2,
3,
5,
4,
6,
7.
8.
Uzi Tengen.
So you just skipping 9?
9.
10.
Oh.
Are you sad?
A little bit, I am. I'm a little upset. Cool. There we go. Now we're good. Sweet. your text.
Yeah. From looking at the YouTube channel right now, it sounds like we're all good.
Exactly. That's what. Just had to make one more adjustment, and then we were fine. Make sure you hit. Cool. Cara, what's your Twitter name?
I don't have a Twitter.
Instagram. Sorry, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I don't use them.
Why did this? Look at this.
Hang on.
So drastic.
It's Nelson.
No, this is lame. Don't put this.
Just Nelson.
CL6895.
6895.
Shut up.
Nelson DL68.
Yeah, that's a how to change.
Is anything capitalized or just that's?
No, it's all lowercase.
We're gonna make it Care Bear something else.
You were born on June 8th. If I had to take a guess.
Yeah.
Can you guess the year by chance?
Probably 94.
Oh,
No.
damn, so close.
95.
It's almost like her username
Yeah,
gives away a lot of her information.
I bet your PIN number is 6895.
I made it forever ago, and I just never felt the need to change it.
For them. So your PIN number is not 6895? Okay.
No.
I will neither confirm nor deny that.
It's the person icon.
Sweet.
Nope. You went ahead and got yourself over to Storm's page.
Oh, I'm stupid. Edit profile button.
Oh, was it 7 top 10 teams lost yesterday in basketball?
Yeah, then the six of the top six all lost.
What are they gonna do? They'll probably keep Gonzaga as number 1 anyway. Whatever. I saw the end of that game. That was kind of crazy. Switch.
I'm giving you full creative reign here.
Can I get the freaking B? Am I fat fingering it?
Fat fingers.
Do you have a favorite number?
Not really.
Big, meaty claws.
There we go. That better.
He's changing my username to something, I guess,
something
more...
that doesn't reveal your PIN code.
Right. Something more... share appropriate, I guess.
I feel like anonymous, but I mean, people still see your face. So does it really matter?
You don't have a number you like?
Mm-hmm.
I have a athletic geek wife for right now.
Can you put in an exclamation point? Is that possible?
Typically just underscores.
What's a favorite number? Like, what? I don't. The concept of favorite number, I don't vibe with.
You're not attached to a certain number.
Yeah, like.
Do you guys have favorite numbers?
5.
See?
Why?
Weirdo.
Why?
You're the weird one.
And I know you use 27.
Yeah.
Why?
You're the weird one, Cara.
Was it that?
I mean,
Favre. That's why.
I don't know. I just like 5.
Do 3. Wait, Dom, do you have favorite number?
Do 3 is the E-bubs.
I'd be all caps with that, then.
This is 27.
Is that a problem?
Did you say...
You said I could do whatever I want.
Did you say 5? 5 because I said 4. No.
No, I actually
it's not available.
Well, okay, do just Care Bear with an underscore and then a 3 at the end. All lowercase.
Care...
Oh.
You want dots in the middle or periods in the middle, or just try Care Bear?
Care Bear underscore 3.
No, probably gonna be taken.
.3.
Exclamation 3.
Can you put a 3 in a parentheses or no?
Alright, how can we get a 3? What other ways can we put just 3 at the end?
Maybe colon 3.
Maybe greater than 3?
Oh, you can't stop the username with a period.
Colon 3?
I don't think it's allowed either.
So only some special characters are allowed in an Instagram name, but not others.
Yeah. Yeah. Period and underscore.
I had some Sorry, I've been raving about I had some Indian food yesterday. I had chicken curry yesterday, and it was so freaking good.
It was delicious.
I don't want my name in there.
Yeah.
First name. Do the 3 is the E in bear.
We did that.
Could it be the E and Care and
Alright,
E and
we got my Instagram changed.
Is it 3 in the...
It's Care underscore bear period 3.
Care underscore bear period 3. Do I have it correct?
Well, that was...
I haven't changed yet.
It's going to be a rainy one.
Yeah,
that's what...
It still feels not.
It'll take a second. You get her?
Does that count?
No. Edit profile.
Yeah.
Yay! Just...
We did it.
Oh, you moved Nezuko
yes,
and everything around.
I like this a little better because I didn't like the Tengen and the 3 very important characters in the middle.
I feel that.
And then also, everybody's making faces pretty hilarious. I giggled.
And they all somehow look eerily similar to his wives.
I didn't recognize that, actually.
That is very true.
The only one that looks similar is Inosuke.
And Zenitsu.
Yeah, no, I can see it.
Makio has a very small amount of blonde in her hair. There was nothing
but like she still has like the bangs and like was it even Zenitsu has a 2 buns. No, I can easily see
yeah,
it.
they still look similar.
Bangs and buns are not the same.
They still look similar.
Y'all crazy.
Yeah.
Stretch.
Denier.
There's no way you can deny.
You guys warm up before those stretches?
I need to remember my legs.
No, just do gomu gomu no.
Did you stretch before that reach? I still love that about what people were saying. Like in anime, I hate that there are certain characters or certain animes where they scream out their attacks. Miles was like, my biggest complaint about One Piece, and I fully agree. Because I've always been like, how can you sneak up on an enemy or do something if you scream your attack before you actually do your attack?
I mean, I can see it for One Piece because like they're just inherently able to do these abilities, but I don't know. I think about Harry Potter and how like they literally, unless you are like a super powerful wizard that's like really good with concentration, you can't do like.
Hey, sir,
just.
In what world is Harry Potter an anime?
Give it a few years.
There's probably one out there actually.
But saying magic spells and incantations, I think it comes from that. Like,
I think
there are plenty of magic anime who don't say anything outside of.
I'm just thinking of like witchcraft in general. Like, what is like saying like a chant or a rant while you're stirring a pot will actually make something different?
It's an incantation.
It's a gathering of power. So some spells are done by like vocal casting.
Yeah, you gotta have the incantation. It's in the book. It's in the book, Matt. The magic book.
The book with magic in it. Obviously.
The book of spells.
Obviously, Matt.
Sorry for me being ignorant. Wow.
She wants us to open that so bad.
Yeah.
And you can open it for him.
Well, that's
Better look outside.
cool.
Yes, so nicely.
Why is your camera off?
Whose camera's off?
Your camera and the YouTube for some reason. Like the.
I can see it. I can see it on YouTube.
But we're delayed.
I know, yeah, no, we're delayed, but like I have it also pulled up in the live, but whatever. If it's fine, it's fine. Let me check the OBS real quick. Yeah, but everything looks fine. But just on the playback. Cool. Start recording.
I don't have that same NDI thing I used to have though, but I mean I can still see myself. Yeah. So.
Start recording on both platforms.
Oh, you pressed it. Okay, cool. I was just about to. Every time. That cat is doing shit.
It's better than Swan. It's better than Swan interrupting the middle of the opening.
We like won't be talking for a second, and then it's like, oh, I might as well fill the silence.
Oh, I guess since Matt threw the Instagram handles out there, do you guys want to be thrown in as your Instagram handles instead of your names? When I do this?
No.
Nah.
I mean, we can mention that to follow us on the Instagrams, but I just have it on there in case people want to check out the 5 photos I have on my Instagram.
Okay. Jesus. Let's just keep changing.
You said the 5 photos?
It might be 10, but it's closer to that number than I wanted.
I mean, you can change it, Matt.
I don't take pictures. I've had my phone since 2016, and I think I maybe have 1,000 photos on my camera. Yeah, which is insanely low for what it needs to be.
Yeah, I think I have over 4,000.
Doesn't what?
Photos on my phone.
What was that face about?
I just don't take pictures of anything, and then like stuff I do take pictures of, it's nothing of. Like it's definitely like very much events that I've been to. Like so I have maybe 30 of those pictures are from maybe like went to WrestleMania. One went to Milwaukee and Lambeau Field. And then just like certain trips.
You're not a documentarist. You're an
I
experience.
like my memories up here to share with everybody.
Hey, old man.
And then 10 years later, you can't
Exactly.
remember.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I was like, oh yeah, I was there.
This
Wasn't
is gonna stay forever.
Oh, I was there.
Okay.
What's up, feasters? Welcome back to another great episode of the Anime Feast. I'm Dominique, and with me, as always, are my co-host Tawan.
What up? What is do?
What's
do? What do you do?
Wow, that's all you got? That was your intro.
No, it's my intro.
Okay. And
what up,
Matthew.
everybody? What's that do?
I don't have any cool quippy puns for today. I'm sorry, guys.
These are so sad.
Oh.
Don't worry. I'll think of something by the end of that.
Just like Demon Slayer. And with me, we also have my beautiful wife, Cara.
Hello.
Welcome.
What up, Cara?
Bringing her on to the podcast this week as we are discussing one of her favorite animes. It's her top two. They flip between the two depending on what's going on. But that's Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. Got Cara into anime. What were you gonna say, Tawan?
Right now, I was gonna say right now it's probably Attack on Titan because it's
So crazy.
Well, again, we haven't watched any of the last part because we read it all, and then we're waiting. She wants to wait till it's all complete, and then we'll go through all of it, just like we had to do for Demon Slayer.
And that's why.
No, you weren't too happy about that.
Oh man, I didn't mind doing like the easy grind for Demon Slayer because it's just such a beautiful show to watch, regardless.
Yeah, it shows you how much animation has grown over the past couple years, just in watching the new Demon Slayer animation, One Piece, Attack on Titan. But it's just a great show to watch, especially when there's a good fight scene, which there are plenty this arc.
Because that Ufotable budget is out of this world.
You ain't lying. And then I just did a quick research on the things for the manga. It's like I felt like the manga was a lot longer for the entertainment arc, which I'm looking at it. It's like almost 40 something chapters condensed into like 11 episodes. So
yeah,
I think Matt. Oh, good.
I was gonna say that's always the one thing with anime compared to, manga, and it's just that the manga is, obviously the source material. There's a lot of information there. The animes can kind of be used to fill out some of the things we can't really see in the manga that would take the mangakas too long to illustrate. But a lot of I do hate that they still skip stuff half the time, and this is a clear example of one of those. As you guys know, with freaking Promise Neverland, it's like just a thing they do. They skip so much stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, what did they skip from the manga and to the anime?
for the Demon Slayer, you're talking about. Okay, I was like, if you're talking about, you're talking about,
Slayer, yeah.
like you're talking about Promise Neverland,
No,
we
we're
have
not
a
going into
lot
that.
to discuss then. But that's See, I didn't reread the chapters because I literally just looked at the chapters, but it's like chapters 55 through 97. But I don't think I have my complaint of Tokyo Ghoul where they condense 12 episodes, 60 plus or like 70 chapters into 12 episodes. But no, but when I watch, at least when I was watching in season 2 of Demon Slayer, like the first couple episodes, they felt very rushed just to get to the fight scene. I'm not sure if you guys felt that or not.
I didn't. I felt like it was just the progression of the story. So you had their little training sequence, which doesn't take more than an episode. You have Tanjiro going to Rengoku's dad's house. Yeah, and talking to his brother, talking to the dad. Like, I mean, and you also got to think like the animation, like those panels in a manga, that takes up 1 or 2 scenes. So that takes up 10, 15 minutes to really tell like an animated story.
I don't think it rushed to the fight in the Entertainment District because I kind of feel like it took a little bit of time, honestly, to get to the fight. But it really also, once again, depends on what part of the season you really want to start at. Like for me, for us, we all watched the Mugen Train movie,
Yeah.
so I didn't care to rewatch everything for it again. Like I think that part's purpose was just to get everybody a bit more drawn to Rengoku before obviously killing him off. Because, when you see Mugen training, it's your first introduction to Rengoku outside of like the quick meeting of the Hashiras when Tanjiro and them first went there. It was like, okay, who's this like fiery person? Pun intended. That's kind of what he is. And then you get him on Mugen training. It's really just like the whole umai, umai. It's like all you get from him, and then you get him, having a great fight, and that was it. So there was no real connection to Rengoku, but like what they did with this part of the anime made it seem like just a reason to get people drawn to him before killing him. So I didn't see his purpose for us, and so we didn't really care to watch it. We were always waiting for the actual entertainment arc to start. And for those of you
Yeah.
listening, if you haven't understood where we're going right now, this week we are going to talk about Demon Slayer. As you all know, the season wrapped up last week. So we are here now, just kind of discussing how it all went down. The entertainment district was amazing. Like we were saying earlier, the animation style was fantastic. You can tell they put a lot of money in the budget for that. Um, and if no one's told you before, we're live on YouTube. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit that notification. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you are notified when we go live.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, join us in chat, and let us know if you love. Like, everything we do right now is definitely out of love. Like, yes, we're being critiqued and everything, but like, no, but like at the end of the day, like I would 10 out of 10 recommend watching all Demon Slayer. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when Demon Slayer first came out, and Dom, I think you're the first one who's like, you're like the first one to tell us, like, guys, you gotta watch this series because it is insane. I think you told me, I remember, at least this is in my mind, it reminded me, like, you're like, just wait until episode 8 and then you'll get hooked. It's like, why episode 8? But then when episode 8 hit, it's like, oh, that's why. When you're first introduced to the spider guy.
It feels so long ago, like with the early stuff, because Demon Slayer's been out. It's not like obviously it hasn't been out for long, but we're all One Piece watchers. So when I say long, I'm like, oh yeah, 1999, 2000, like it's been out long. But no, it's been out for a decent amount of time, and it feels so long ago.
Yeah, I remember. I think it started around like when the pandemic first started. So I remember watching it, and I watched the first couple episodes, and I hadn't even heard anything about it. But the hype around it really grew, and then you get more involved in the story. But it has been a fun journey to go on.
Absolutely.
But also the fact that we've been waiting for almost 2 years for this second season, year and a half, at least for what we hadn't seen already, because we saw the movie for Mugen Train early last year in 2021. So it has been a long time coming.
And I think that's where my only disappointment is with how short the season was compared to the first season. And the fact that we did spend the first 7 episodes kind of rewatching the movie. Like, personally, I would have rather them fleshed out the movie a bit more to give us that backstory and connection to the character versus kind of redoing that all in the second season, taking away from new story. Because now we have to wait another year or so for it to progress more. Like, I feel like we kind of got gypped on the length of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just, but I get it because they're just trying to make more money off it.
I just need every show to be like One Piece and just never stop. Like, I'm so used to that, and I feel like we've gotten used to that over the years with like One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Kid to Kill Hitman Reborn, like any of the longer shows that went like over 100 episodes. I feel like over the course of my anime watching career has always just been continuous. And then I think My Hero was one of the first that really came into it where like you had to take a break because they would do it in seasons and iterations like that. I'm just like, I don't want to have to wait. Like I can see maybe like a week or two, or take a month off.
I don't mind waiting at least, because then at least like what Demon Slayer Entertainment Art District showed us, like the animation style and everything. Because the only thing about One Piece, like the pacing is so slow, but like I guess I have the problem of season 2 is like the pacing's a little bit too fast. I want it a little bit more drawn out, but
Yeah, getting into the entertainment arc. I mean, it was pretty funny how it started. That we get to officially really meet Uzi Tengen, and he tried to abduct Ioi and run off with her, and Tanjiro jumps in out of nowhere and is in like kind of stopping it because he hears the screams as he's returning from his mission to going to Rengoku's dad. And I liked that when Tengen was kind of like, who's gonna stop me essentially. That out of nowhere you see from left side and right side, just the trio. You see Rengoku. You see Zenitsu and Inosuke kind of coming in like, we will, and it was kind of funny, just like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers came running together to stop this man from abducting a little girl.
Yeah, and then when they do try to attack him at the same time, he just disappears and uses his ninja skills. And they're like, "What? Where'd he go?" And it's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna actually let you attack me." But if I do have to take someone, like, this is Demon Slayer, core higher up HQ. These are orders from them, so you're not gonna stop me. But I mean, if you're not gonna let me take them, then I'm gonna take you.
No, not even that. They volunteered. They were like, "We'll go instead."
Yeah.
And, I mean, it was kind of interesting because but when you think about where they went, there would have been literally no purpose for Ioi going. Like, she would have done literally zero for them.
She was also going to take
another. I think he wanted the girls just because then he didn't have to cross. He didn't have to cross dress the guys.
But she's not even really a demon slayer because she couldn't really do anything. So like she would have been less recon than Hina and them were.
Technically, she passed the demon slayer. Was it the trial?
Yeah, and they're the ones that train Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro too. So
she trained them on hers. Wasn't breathing. What was hers?
It was
it really doesn't matter what.
Yeah, that's why we all remember it on top of our heads.
yeah, that's why it's all right there for all of us. But yeah, I mean, getting into the district, it was those of you on YouTube, you can see it with Matt has all of the characters in their makeup. It was so interesting just to see that's how Tengen did all of their makeup, was just to make them the most hideously clad things ever.
He actually didn't do a bad job for a person. I mean,
it was terrible, Matt. Like, there was no one else that even looked close to that. But I mean, it's I guess to take away from them like looking like boys at all. But honestly, he could have just left
Inosuke how he is. To be perfectly honest.
Exactly.
It's the eyes, and Inosuke's eyes,
and his face.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful face, and that's what that lady who bought him just knew. She was like, I knew there was a pretty face under all this ugly makeup.
But it's also hilarious seeing him like get caught because he's just like acting like a dude and like picking his nose and squatting. And she's like, I have to fix this girl.
That it's like again told him not to speak. He's like, yeah, you can't do any falsetto at all. Like, just shut up. Just like if somebody asks you a question, just nod your head yes, and you go do the task.
And then I love like Zenitsu's animosity towards Tengen, like, and it just shows. And they finally get him somewhere, and he's like playing the seti or guitar. They're like, wow, she really has a lot of passion. She must have been scorned sometime in her life.
Wait, because he was laughing, wasn't he? He's like, I will literally drop you off in a dumpster if I have
to. I did love that. It was like that Tengen had that god complex, like Zenitsu hated him for that, but then you had Inosuke kind of like, hey, god of whatever, I'm the god of the mountain. Like, being a god to a god was kind of like, again, that's why I love Inosuke. Dude's amazing.
But then Tengen was like, what are you talking about? Stop acting crazy. Like, like, you're a weirdo, aren't you? Oh, no, I'm the weirdo.
You got to do it flash. You got to be flashy. The flashy Hashira, the flashy shinobi.
Like Flashy Flash from One Punch Man? No.
Yeah, that's not necessary silence.
Oh man, but I mean, so from there, it was pretty simple with Demon Slayer. It was them seeking out the demon because obviously Tengen told them the truth. You know, he had 3 wives that were all there. They all went missing. He had, and they were hunting a demon who they know was there. So he just kind of needed them for recon to find the demon. And they broke into different houses, and lo and behold, who's the first to kind of find the demon? But Inosuke, like he didn't find the demon, but I think he knew there was a demon present. Wow, Zenitsu was the first to actually run into the demon and get the shit broke out of him and then captured. But Inosuke was the first to know there was a demon close, and that's when Inosuke kind of broke character and was just destroying the home he was in, looking forward in the walls and in the ground.
I thought Inosuke actually found it. Like he heard the torture happen, and then I guess that's where I got confused because I thought he saw her first, and that's when the next morning him and Tanjiro were talking. And he's like, oh, Zenitsu wasn't, Tengen told them, Zenitsu's not probably going to be here because I think he got captured. That part kind of a little confused me, but that's, I think, my only really complaints of this.
So I know that Inosuke was going through his house and cleaning and doing chores, and then he hears and senses something going on upstairs. Mm-hmm. And yeah, because it's in the attic where it was happening. Yeah. And then he's like, I feel it. And he goes up there and investigates, and he finds that they're hiding. And then he still does his breathing sense where he can just feel throughout the building. And it's like, okay, it's moving here, and it's the belt that's wrapped around her.
Yeah, the obi.
And he's following it, and that's where he starts destroying and goes out of character. And everyone's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? And he ends up losing it. And then that's when he goes and talks to Tengen the next day about it. And Tanjiro.
Because we never really saw Zenitsu get captured. It was just oh yeah.
No. Yeah, Zenitsu he ran into the chick because she beat the little girl, and because she was in her room, and he couldn't stand by that anymore. Tried to stop her, yell at her, and she obviously smacked the shit out of him, and that was kind of the last we saw of that. But he knew that she was a demon because he was sitting there I can hear. This is the sound of a demon. He knew it was a demon, and I think she caught on to that, and that was he was captured.
Yeah, gotta take him out.
Didn't put much of a fight.
And meanwhile,
he didn't put much of a fight to just get captured.
Yeah, it's Zenitsu. It's the awake version of Zenitsu. Of course, he didn't put up a fight.
Also, it's crazy that Zenitsu, for the majority of the hardcore battle, was just sleep and still able to run and walk and just do everything, communicate, everything. So
that's what annoyed me. I was like, at this point, just make the dude awake. He's talking, he's giving out, suggestions, orders to Inosuke mid-battle. At this point, just make the dude awake.
Who's that dude from One Piece? He's like a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing, but
Cavendish?
No, not. Is it Cavendish?
Oh, yeah.
Cavendish is the one with the
comes out, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and when he falls asleep, his demon mode comes.
So just badass versus crybaby.
Yeah. Even that happened again in the training arc with them. Zenitsu's training and he's doesn't want to do all this stuff. He's willing to go on missions now. But sometimes he's just still sleeping running up the mountain. And it's just what?
But I feel he didn't have such a big cry moment after the train arc that he did at the very end of the entertainment arc. He was just bawling his eyes out, asking Tanjiro why he hurt so bad. And it's not in the train arc where he wasn't having that crybaby moment. He understood what had happened.
Yeah, he was only crying because of
Rengoku.
And Tanjiro and Inosuke is crying because he wasn't actually there. I doesn't need to. I'm not. Shut up! Stand up and train with me right now. We're going training.
Training. Yeah,
training.
I got it too.
As he's dragging Tanjiro and
It's with Tanjiro's broken body. Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, as we know, we're kind of getting straight to the point. I mean, they discovered that there was a demon, obviously, and I think my biggest thing for this little part before they actually engaged in the battle was that it never seemed originally like they were that far from each other. Maybe 2 or 3 houses over, 5 houses at max, and then all of a sudden, something would be happening with Tanjiro and them, and you would see Tengen a whole 3 miles away for some reason, and you're like, where the fuck did you go, and how'd you get over there, and why are you over there?
On the
And it was
whole
like
other side of the
consistent.
city.
Yeah, it was consistently like he's way out of there, and you're like, why? Like what? And you could see how fast he would move, and we know he's a shinobi. We would see how fast he would go from one place to another. But then when when the battle did start, when Tanjiro did first get into that to the battle with Daki, and then you see like Tengen can hear. I mean that's what he is. He's a sound Hashira, and the battle didn't happen from what would seem too far from him, and he had no idea what was going on. No idea anything was happening
He
over there at
literally
all.
said, "I could hear the battle going on," and then just did nothing about it.
Yeah, and
He's still investigating.
That part of
he was still looking for his wife.
He's making sure. I mean, he's making sure everything's okay. But when he said like, "Oh, I hear the battle going," I thought he was talking about Tanjiro and the demon. No, exactly. Then he was like, "Oh no, I'm underground." It's like, how do you hear underground better than you do on top? But that's.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Like, there was so many points throughout the battle scenes that I'd be like, "Where is he? Like, why? Where is he? Where's the Top Gun? Like, we're having all these like kids fight the battle. Like, where is the Hashira at this point?"
Also, they've been doing these investigations for a while. The fact that like as soon as Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu come, like within like a week, it seemed like they found the demon that's been here for how many hundreds of years? 400 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Like plenty of Hashiras have come here, and like we still don't know who exactly the demon is. Like she's killed what I think they said 10.
I never understood either how much she either like because before Daki and everything like because before like the reveal that she what do you call it, second form or just somebody hiding inside her, but like
just her brother. I wouldn't even call it another form, but before the reveal of Gyutaro.
Wait, are you talking about her brother, or are you talking about when she got the belt completely to her? Because two things happened with Daki. She had her fighting, but then when the belt that was holding everyone got back to her, she powered up.
I'm talking about like after when was Tengen cuts her head off. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but like Gyutaro, yeah. But when Gyutaro said like he's like, oh yeah, she's beaten 7 Hashira and I've defeated like 15 or like was it 28? It's like how does she beat like 7 of them?
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, like if all the Hashiras were like Tengen, I mean, she stood 0 chance regardless. Or I guess before he. Yeah. Well, sorry, I know I'm getting ahead a little bit.
No, it could easily be that she fought Hashira similar to Shinobu, because those are Hashiras who wouldn't be too difficult to kill for somebody like Daki. Like it wouldn't be out of this world because Shinobu's not strong enough to cut any of the demons' heads off. She's only good for poison. So like, it would make sense that level of Hashira could be beat. It's because which is crazy because Tengen is I think he was ranked a third or fourth like least strong Hashira.
Who is the weakest one, by the way? I know we talked about.
I'm pretty sure Shinobu.
Yeah, I think Shinobu.
And I think it would be safe to assume that her poison would really have much of an effect because her brother is a part of her, and his whole thing is poison. So.
Yeah, Shinobu's the weakest Hashira.
That's the one with pink hair, right? Or is that the one?
No,
yeah, that's the love one. Okay. Shinobu is the butterfly chick, the one who saves Zenitsu when he was turning into a spider.
See, I don't think she's that weak. Well, because later on,
she herself has admitted it. She herself has admitted that she is how weak she is. She says she can that's why she has the weapon she has so she can inject poison into them with speed because she is not strong enough to cut a head off of any demon. She's admitted that.
Yeah.
So yeah, her practice.
I guess I just don't think she's as weak as Hashira, just because like I like her too. Okay. I don't want to admit that she's the weakest because I like her.
She's not listening.
I know she's not listening.
I think she'll be okay with what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm trying to like whisper into the microphone. I don't think.
Yeah, she can hear you.
I mean, yeah, we were getting into the battle. I enjoyed the battle scenes. again, the animation was amazing, but it was again a lot of the bullshit of Tanjiro. No, in no way, shape, or form should he have been able to withstand a fight with Daiki like he did. Like, I get the first fight when she didn't have her full power with the belt or with the sash. Like, she didn't have all of her strength, and they were fighting the sash underground. Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tengen, and somehow also two of Tengen's three wives. It was a whole bunch of craziness going down underground. Which also, that sash was another demon, right?
I think
I don't think it was another demon. I think it was just a part of her.
Oh, because I remember it was talking, like, I need to get back, and like I'm supposed to protect her or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was just sentient. Like, it's just a sentient part of her, but it's just another aspect of her because, like, once it joined her, it stopped talking for the most part. Other than like getting cut, like that was the only time it was really talking by itself. But I think it's just another entity of her, which isn't surprising, but like how her and Gyotaro had like an actual relationship and whatnot, like history before she became a demon, there was never that or any inkling of that. So I would just think that that's another part of her.
Yeah, it says.
Also, frustration with
go
the.
ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry. I was just gonna say frustration with like the battle is that we see like three of Tengen's like breathing techniques, and I'm like, why are they named different numbers if we're not gonna see more of them? I was a little upset about that.
I mean, he could easily be like Zenitsu. Zenitsu only mastered one of the four.
One.
But his breathing technique was created by him.
No. That's
you are so far ahead. You are so far ahead.
Oh, that's okay.
Thunderclap and Flash is the very first technique, and that's the only one he learned from of the four lightning abilities.
Sorry, I was talking about Tengen. His breathing technique. Oh, but okay. I guess it's still talking about things that happened later in the series.
I don't know if did he make the sound one.
Yeah, that's why I was reading that he created his own breathing technique, kind of like Inosuke. Like no one else has beast breathing.
Yeah, Inosuke absolutely. His beast breathing was his own.
But that's all I was saying. Like his attacks were, I think, 4th, 5th, and 1st. But I was like, you're not going to show us all 5 of them. At least just call them 1, 2, and 3. Personal quarrel. Not really.
Fights later.
It's for us. It's for us to know that there are more out there, but we just don't get to see all of them. Hey, I have a lot of abilities, but these are the best ones for this situation. Because for all the other breathing abilities could be something that's not battle related. Because again, Inosuke's one of his breathing techniques is just to hear further, so he can to detect.
True.
All right, with the scarf or whatever, the obi, it's its own independent thing from Daki's body. So I guess it's part of her that was just acting on its own. That's what the wiki says, at least.
Okay, so kind of like Timon says, it's like a sentient sash. But yeah, so like Tanjiro fighting Daiki before that, and kind of holding up, but not at the same time. And then she got the power up, and I think at that point he should have got waxed immediately.
Man, I know we'll talk about this eventually, but like characters who should not win fights. This is another example of that. Like after her power.
Well, there was.
Oh, go ahead, Kurt.
There was a lot of moments in the fight scenes where I was like, kind of calling bullshit on how some of them survived. Like, Inosuke, to be perfectly honest, should not have survived. And then him coming back with I know how to rearrange my organs in a split second. It's like,
plot armor much?
I don't know about that. I think you're pulling that out of the hat at the last minute. But yeah, there was definitely some part, like, I mean, even Tengen, like, he stopped his heart to stop the poison from spreading, but was able to come back from that and keep fighting, and like have that really beautiful explosive battle between him and Gyotaro at the last battle scene. Like, some of that stuff I was like, you shouldn't be alive. Like, I'm glad you are, but you really shouldn't be.
For Tengen stopping his heart, I think that one, I kind of justified. Because because he is a Sound Hashira, so he can actually do that, and they've done that beforehand too. Like the other characters have done that to like stop their breathing. Like Tanjiro, like was it, I think Zenitsu actually stopped his breathing after he got poisoned to slow down the poison, so it wouldn't circulate through as fast in the first.
Right.
That's the difference. I see where Kara's going with this because they were taught how to master that total concentration breathing to quench wounds or to slow down your pace, to slow down the spread of something, but to stop your heart completely, how do you restart it?
That.
I was gonna say, like
yeah,
like Hisoka.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's the part where she's getting at, and I fully understand that because unless one of the wives snuck in there and started pounding on his chest, but they didn't even they were surprised when he came back, so it wasn't them. So I don't know. It was funny though. So just when Tengen, like kind of the Tengen fighting everyone and showing up to save Tanjiro at the end or the first time, and how quickly he cut off Daiki's head and was like, and she was screaming, and he was like, "You're too weak to be an Upper Moon." I loved everything about like that scene of things. She was like, "Hands," and then her head.
He went right over to Tanjiro. Was like, "Oh, you okay there?"
Yeah.
He's like, you know, there's a demon right behind you, by the way. He's like, "Oh yeah, heart beater. Don't worry about that. Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And then she just starts bawling her eyes out and calling for her brother. And it's like, This is unfair. You can't do this to me. And then it's like, why isn't her head disappearing? Because honestly, I totally forgot about that, even though we read the manga. And then I was like, oh, yeah. Her brother did live inside her body.
That was one of the best reveals right there is her screaming, screaming for her brother to like kind of end the episode. And then Gitoro comes out like that right there. Dope as shit.
Yeah, because I remembered like her getting easily taken down by Tengen. I was like, what was like the real battle here? Because she went down pretty easily. I remember when he first appeared, and then I was like, oh yeah, her brother came out, and then started waxing that ass. So
he's no joke, and I don't see how Tanjiro ever thinks like he's helping out. He's like, oh, I'm gonna help out in this fight, and it's like I can't see them fighting. It's like,
oh my. Speaking of, you know where I was going with that. Speaking of the can't see them fight, I think one of my favorite things about all of what happened was how we were watching the fights go down. With the animation and everything, it looked like they were moving at the speed of sound. You couldn't see the speed of light. You couldn't see anything. You just saw flashes and bangs and all that stuff. They're moving at supersonic speeds. Then the scene where Hina shows up on the roof right before she sends those poisoned kunai shooting out, when she's looking at them, everyone is moving so goddamn slow. It is the funny. Like if you weren't paying attention, go back and watch that episode. It is the funniest shit. Like because they make it seem like they're moving so fast, and then you watch her do it, and they're literally moving like a mile and a half per hour. It's the slowest swings, the slowest jumps, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening?
So the close-up fight's super intense, but back away, it's like the two people like was it like Star Wars?
It's honestly just the adrenaline going.
Yeah, step back a solid 20 feet and it'd be like, oh, these guys are barely moving.
It's like lightsaber fights with sticks kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, just don't hit me too hard with it.
Well, let's touch on Nezuko. Let's touch on Nezuko.
Oh yeah. It's crazy how little we've seen of Nezuko, like throughout the whole series, or throughout this whole season, not series, but and literally just until the fight comes up with the demon, that's the only time we see her. The only time like she really has relevance again.
Well, I think Nezuko's not really ever supposed to, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Tanjiro wants to keep her safe and protected, and obviously most of their journey is through the day and in the night when they fight the demons. But he wants to keep her protected, so she has to stay in the box. But obviously, when he gets hurt, she comes out the box.
How much demon blood did he actually, did Muzan give Nezuko?
I think he meant to kill her and she survived, right?
Yes.
And then he meant to kill her and she just survived, and therefore turned into a demon. So it wasn't even like he gave her blood. He I guess some of his blood was just there. I don't know. He did she was not a purposeful demon.
She had the Harry Potter treatment.
Yeah,
That's the only way.
Which is why he was
Honestly,
asking Daki specifically, like, kill her. Like, she's gotten away from me. You know, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, if you do anything, kill Nezuko.
those Commodore jeans, y'all.
yeah. And then she sees Tanjiro get hurt and then gets angry, Hulk mode, and it's just funny that the superiority that Daki feels for Nezuko, and then it's like, oh yeah, took off her leg. She can't regenerate that fast. Boom. And then like honestly, we've seen that build up for a while since what Nezuko fought that girl with the balls that took her legs off and arms off and pieces like that.
Yeah.
That's when her regeneration really started to kick in and have like the speed of one of the upper moons.
Well, not necessarily though, because her regeneration didn't happen as quick as one of the upper moons with that fight with the ball. She just kind of strengthened her leg to where it could withstand the kicks. As Daiki was saying with that though, she was like she shouldn't be able to regenerate like an upper moon, especially because of how new of a demon she is and how she doesn't have that much of Muzen's blood, but she was able
She
to.
doesn't get any nutrition. Like she literally sleeps to heal herself, and
yeah.
But that transformation though.
Yeah, that's what I was getting into, is because like I know Tuan kind of went Hulk mode, but we saw her like Hulk mode early on when she was about to kill Tanjiro, like, you know, episode 2. So like everyone's kind of had this whole debate around adult Nezuko and all of that. So like just kind of what are your thoughts on what they did with Nezuko turning her into like an adult version, or her transforming herself into an adult version, and then like her subsequent power up that came with it prior to obviously, you know, losing control and being put back to sleep?
I feel like it's making it more about, I mean, I'm not upset with it, but I feel like it's making it more around she can change her age, because when she gets small, she's more becoming a baby or a toddler rather than just a smaller version of herself. That's what it makes me think that they're doing with that. Um, it was a little over sexualized. They had to give so much cleavage and whatnot. I'm not mad at that.
Cara point. Like, yes, you are correct, sir.
But it's that classic anime. They want to see more titties. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's a good part of the community, but it happens.
Yeah, like,
but
I think I'm still a little confused with like how she gets the power up so quickly. I know she's angry and she's trying to protect Tanjiro, but at the same time, I know she loses more of herself. She starts attacking more humans and like doesn't understand until he calms her down. But
I think that was a really important scene, because I guess up until this point, we as audience have had so much confidence in Nezuko's ability to resist that. And this was kind of the first, I guess, big breaking point for her of not being able to fight it, even with Tanjiro being there screaming in her ear. Like, she could not fight the urge to go after the humans that were there. Like, it took a step beyond that of, like, you know, tapping into like that, you know, lullaby that her mother used to sing to her. Like, it took an extra step to even get her to come down from that. So I think that was really important, because it was kind of the first time we saw her completely break and wasn't able to come back purely from Tanjiro talking to her.
Yeah, she really delved into that animal instinct. Like, she just became more feral, which makes her more powerful because she's less likely to hinder herself so that she doesn't hurt someone, or that she follows what Tanjiro is teaching. She's just really fallen into that animal demon instinct and just pure passion and rage.
it's like the true demon insiders came out.
Yeah. It's like a oh, you didn't watch Bleach, Dan, but like Ichigo in his hollow form, like when he goes hollow form, like he gets exponentially more powerful, but he just
I see that, and then like he ripped the mask off when he got the mask for the first time, then he just like tore it off.
But it's kind of like small. It got to a point where he couldn't do that. Ichigo couldn't take the mask off himself.
Did Saki actually knock it off him too?
No, he got like held down by. Oh, you're talking about Nezuko, but no, like Ichigo got to a point where somebody else had he had to get like jumped and held down until the mask taken off. But
you can go watch that fight with
yeah,
where
the
it's called
Vizards,
yeah,
Vizards.
such a good scene.
Yeah.
It's kind of also like the Ron Longus from Black Clover. Sorry, just saying.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Langris and the Finral stuff.
Oh man,
Pull up
that
on
was
them.
such. I love this.
But yeah, it's just I think the demon blood has the inherent power and it's an unlimited wealth of like or like the ring of power from Lord of the Rings is like it just feeds you infinite power, but it's just how much of that power is going to corrupt your actual personality.
Yeah,
I strongly disagree with that thought.
I see where that thought's coming from though.
Just because of how many demons there actually are out there and how many are still just incredibly weak and can't do anything, and it was pretty much stated that you need more Muzan blood to get stronger, but he
I
won't
mean,
let
that
you
was the
get more until you. He won't let you get more of his blood until you eat more humans. So like you get more power by eating more humans, but then
She doesn't.
you also need more Muzan blood to get really up there in power. But if your body can't take it, then you will just die.
That's what.
While Nezuko's just like, I got this little bit, but my Kamado blood will allow me to just all of a sudden be Upper Moon rank and fight with Upper Moon 6 by
So
myself.
I think
What's
that's.
up?
Like I said, I think she had the Harry Potter
Okay.
treatment. That's what. I survived this fight, so therefore I'm stronger. That's. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like it was like more of a Muzan way to control more of you because like the demons that literally have the most blood, he can literally take down more easily because it's his blood running through them. But I mean, I feel like it was his blood was more of a catalyst than like the wealth of power or the well of power for her or any other demon. But that's my thought of.
I was gonna say, Tanjiro can't sing worth shit, by the way, either.
Hey, he did enough with that lullaby to have Nezuko tap into it being her mom singing to her, and then like you guys said, like Tawan said, which I fully agreed with that with the Nezuko thing, where I don't think the goal there was like to really sexualize Nezuko, but just to like show that she can be kid or adult, and like it kind of goes by different levels of her strength. Because after that, she did start crying and she did break down, and then she did go back into baby Nezuko. She went all the way back down to toddler mode, crying, whimpering, and was so small that Tanjiro just kind of folded her up, put her back in the box, and put her to sleep well.
I don't know.
And
It
then
could be
proceeded
like
to go
a
get the
Night,
bricks beat off with
night,
her.
Nezuko.
yeah.
Go to sleep. Why don't you?
Night Tanjiro.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it? Oh man, I can't remember the actual lullaby song. Was it Moonlight something?
Ah,
It's
I can tell you that.
Just memorable as waves. But I remember the lullaby at least.
Yeah, Tamon was talking about anime titties. That's why they brought the three wives in.
Jeez. Two of them were annoying. One was actually useful. And then, what was it? And I think that's all I have about the wives.
Yeah, we got
then
so.
we
Go ahead, Tamon.
no, I was gonna say then we I think move into Tanjiro thinking more about his breathing techniques and trying to improve that during this fight and unlocking his sun breather powers.
No, I think he had he trained for the sun breathing. Like, he can use it, one. He said he only used it once without, absolutely destroying himself. And then he proceeds to use it, 4 or 5 times, eventually through the night.
Yeah, he knows that he can do both breathing techniques, but the sun one hurts him. It's like I think of what it hurt him to do, but the water one was too weak.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So they
that.
combined them.
Yeah, that was the whole premise there was if he was to do the water one, he could do it consistently, but it couldn't hold up to par with fighting these upper moon demons. If he did the sun one, he could do it, but then he wouldn't last long. It hurt him to do, and then it would drain his strength.
So he would have a fever, but he could do the sun technique better when he has a fever.
Correct.
But yeah, okay, that's right. But then he unlocked that scar on his forehead.
Yeah, that was
the
when
scar on his forehead was from an injury as a kid, but then he unlocks his full breathing technique ability where he was literally destroying Gaki. and she could not keep up, couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it's
that's
interesting that it was a scar originally, and then it came into like the Hashi remark, because as we'll learn later, like that's a thing. But
Mark of the chosen one. Like, of course.
yeah, it was yeah. It's we so I mean pretty much at this point, guys, we need to finish out the full on battles they had. Like we got as we kind of drove into, we had what Tengen fighting Yotaro, and you had Daiki fighting Inosuke and Zenitsu, and at one point Tanjiro to help cut the head off the first time. Well, no, sorry, the second time, because Tengen cut her head off the first time. Yeah, Daiki's head got cut off like 3 or 4 times in this whole arc.
yeah, but then they find, hey, okay, we have to cut both of their heads off at the same time, or else this isn't going to work. So then it's the.
I still don't understand how that works, because there wasn't that. I mean, I know they're brother sister, but like, there's no like literal like link or thread between the two necks that would be like, oh, we are together.
That's my thought as well. They're two separate demons.
But they both share the Upper Moon 6 rank. So you can't kill just one part of the Upper Moon 6 and get rid of the whole Upper Moon 6.
Why aren't all other Upper Moons like that too, or like they have more bodies than two?
Exactly.
I think it's the way that they became demons, like the way he became a demon and was like, hey, I can bring back your sister, because didn't she already technically die? And then Mugen
was
like, hey,
barely alive.
Yeah, she never died. She never died.
Okay.
She was on the brink of death, and then Duma showed up and was like, "Hey, I could help." But we see that we see that pretty much at the end of the entire arc, and that's when we meet him. But yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it in the same sense that we saw on the Mugen train. We saw that demon bond and combine with the train. So maybe the siblings found a way to connect to each other. That's in that same sense, so they could have a separate body but still be one actual body. Because we do see, is it pronounced Gyotaro? But we see like we see that at certain points he is like the actual main body, because we do see him have the ability to close one of his eyes, and it comes onto the sister and also strengthens her in that way. And she was saying to him during the fight, why didn't you command me to do X, Y, or Z? Like, when they were finally defeated. So he is like the actual main hub of control.
No, they should have won that fight. Man, of course. I mean, I love that our heroes actually win, but when they're sitting after, when they do the destruction, and like the whole like town, or like the quarter of the town that they're in is completely underground, or not underground, but like it's destroyed, and they're just sitting on top and messing with Tanjiro. I mean, I guess it's just like classic villain thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna just torture you because I can, not because I can just win this fight right here, right there.
Yeah, I agree, Matt. Like, okay. Glad the heroes won and everything, because obviously that's the whole point. However, logically, it makes absolute zero sense that they would survive and win that fight.
Yeah, that's where I was going back with that Tanjiro bullshit, because again, like, he, out of his second fight with Daiki, was pretty much at his wit's end. He had done the flame technique so many times, the sun technique so many times, that he was like, I'm done, I can't really move my body, I can't do this. He had to like wrap the sword to his hand, like, because he was just that weak. And then when Tengen was fighting, he was somehow able to keep up once again. That made zero sense, because like he already was supposedly at the brink, at the end of his abilities. And then you got like you guys saying at that part where it did seem like, okay, the demons finally won, because Tengen's cut down. His heart's not going. His left arm is cut off.
Poisons.
You've got Inosuke. We just saw Inosuke get stabbed through what we thought was the heart. We see Zenitsu crushed under a building and flailing to kind of get out, but is stuck in what is again the annoying sleepy Inosuke part, where it's like he sleep, but not, but sorry, yes, he needs to, but like fully in control. And you're just kind of like, this is all stupid. And then yeah, like I said, you got like the toying around. But I see the part there because it was part of them needing to find a reason to really connect Tanjiro and Nezuko to Daiki and Gitaro, because it was like they are the same, protecting their younger sisters in whatever way and how they need to do it. And if things would have gone different, Tanjiro could have been in the exact same situation. So it was like their way to dumb it down to just being those four alive and explaining how it could be, how things could have gone different for either one of them. But and because I mean, after that, Yutaro did offer Tanjiro to be a demon. He was like, "I've grown attached to you and this scar. You should become a demon. Like, let me turn you into a demon, or I'll kill you and your sister right here." Which of course Tanjiro said, "Fuck that," and ran off. And another bullshit moment where he somehow was able to run away from an Upper Moon 6 while carrying his sister with a messed up leg and arm and an exhausted fight while the demon is at full health.
Where the kunai was.
And somehow, yeah, tricked him enough to find that one random kunai, hide it in the scent of the other things he was throwing, and then have his normal than average human strength headbutt literally daze the demon.
Some of the days was because of the kunai, because he like headbutted him and like stabbed him at the same time.
It was both, because if he was just stabbed, nothing would really happen. Like if you just threw the kunai at him, he would like it weakened him. I don't understand how it weakened him enough to where a Tanjiro headbutt would then like daze.
I think it was the poison from the kunai that got that effect.
I think it's like ooziness was from the poison.
But when he got poisoned the first time, he didn't get woozy. Yeah. When he got poisoned the first time, when Hina did the thing, he didn't get woozy. He couldn't fight it. He couldn't regenerate as quickly because of the poison. He didn't get woozy because of it. Correct. The daze is 100% from the headbutt. The headbutt plus the poison.
I guess it just weakens your overall defense.
It's just like,
susceptibility like to physical attacks, as well as, limits your demon ability, which I think is like the reinforced strength and durability.
Yeah, because I guess if you're poisoned like that, I guess you're like that, and then like you get a headbutt. I mean, yeah, you're gonna be like not. That's like one of the dumbest like moves you can possibly do. Like you're literally just bashing your own head against somebody else.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mindset was with this, because yes, I get that the poison could weaken him, but he's still a demon.
Let's say Gyutaro,
so his body naturally is more sturdy and strong than a human, and Tanjiro's headbutts are stronger than an average human, but to still be on the level of I can daze a slightly weakened Upper Moon kind of blew me away. I was like, this is again kind of horseshit. Not even just daze him. Gyutaro fell on the ground, was laying flat on the earth, and then had the whole sword from Tanjiro with one more last ditch effort, sun breathing technique. Yeah. But it didn't stop there. It kept going, and that once again gets me to just my consistency with Tanjiro. But it led for a good final bout, because that next bout with Tengen finally getting up and using his chain link blades, his shinobi blades, is a last fight with Gyutaro was amazing. Like that animation sequence, I pretty much saw everyone share that across social media every day for the following week.
It was a good fight. Definitely one of the top fights I've ever seen. I don't know. There's something about seeing a fight where you just see really good martial arts. It just makes you fall in love with anime fight scenes again.
Thank you, Pat.
Because I'm like watching like a little like GIF right now of that fight scene where he's just swinging his blades. You see the explosions going wherever the other one's trying to send his sights, which I feel like is just a good, I don't know, antithesis to Tengen's blades as well. Like both opponents are fighting with two blades. It's just like, yeah.
Now, here's my
badass.
question about the explosions that happened. We know Tengen's explosions were from him throwing the shinobi like bombs. When he was doing that originally, it was because he had two hands. One hand was swinging a blade, the other hand was throwing the bombs. So now that he has one hand, how the fuck is he swinging a blade and throwing bombs? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, where did this happen? He only has one hand now, so where's this dual ability coming from?
Maybe he puts him in his hand.
Maybe he just throws them out of his bag, or
then,
maybe they're in like
how?
little compartments on his
How's
leg.
way?
I don't know.
Then it's like, how do you have the
like it
strength
just
to throw
falls
that
out of his
before
bag
you
and
swing
right
your
shot. I
blade?
don't know.
Explain this to me in a way that makes
He has
sense.
some
He's
compartmental
put
latch on
he
his
put them all in
sword.
his mouth.
Okay.
And then as he's swinging, he's spitting them.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Right, no.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Explodes
Right.
on impact. You know?
Okay. Yeah, this all totally makes sense. Got it. Why not just say he hit them in the open wound in his arm, in his cut off hand, and was just no arm toss.
Oh yeah, so then he's not exploding his mouth. It's not like pop rock or anything.
That's where they actually were. They were actually hidden in the cut off arm. I got it. I understand now.
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Actually, his blood, and he just like opens that wound.
Tengen actually has his own blood form, his own demon blood art, his own demon blood
Just wait for that
art.
time for his arm to get cut off.
Yeah, it just
so
acts like a gunpowder instead of like actual blood or fire. It just ignites on impact with metal. I don't know.
Yeah.
How you want to spin it to make it work for yourself, Tom?
It's not gonna work for me. It made no sense. Yeah, this pretty much like kind of wrapped up the fight overall because this was the final sequence. I enjoyed the final sequence. You got Zenitsu made his way out of the rubble bullshit with Thundercap and Flash. Was it Godspeed?
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Inosuke show up because this was my thing right here with the Zenitsu Inosuke thing right there. Zenitsu's going Godspeed. That is how fast he is moving. His most powerful and fastest form to try to cut off Daiki's head. She somehow was able to counter it and not counter it, but survive it, and was going to be drawn out long enough that when Zenitsu's legs tapped out, she would still be alive, and she was going to finish him off. Inosuke comes out of nowhere and is like, I'm still here, obviously profusely bleeding out of his mask and everything, but
Poison spreading through his body.
yeah, poison spreading through his body. But remember, Zenitsu's speed is his biggest feat. He is so fast that almost none of the demons can really keep up with him, especially in that mode. That's never been a thing for Inosuke. Inosuke is quick, he's fast, but he's not that fast. He's not normal Thunderclap and Flash speed, so he's definitely not Godspeed, speed. Or somehow he was able to catch up, not keep up, catch up with Godspeed to help out with that attack.
And then stay at that speed long enough to saw through Daki's neck.
Definitely a plot hole.
Yeah. Me, I was like, because that was because I love Inosuke, and my whole thing was like I wanted to rank him higher than Zenitsu, but people, I think the actual ranking was like Zenitsu is above Inosuke, and that was like because of that speed, like his speed was one of those reasons why. But seeing this happen, I'm like, that's Zenitsu's fastest, and Inosuke's keeping up with that speed while injured. Then bullshit.
I don't know. It might have been clever positioning, but that really doesn't work.
Antoine, go ahead. Try. You.
No.
I appreciate you playing.
I was like, maybe if he was like over here and he's coming towards him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on the direction that Zenitsu is going.
Okay.
It's some bullshit.
Playing an uphill battle.
Yeah, you've been a very good devil's advocate this episode, but yeah, I'm at to stop you there. This one.
I tried it.
This
I
one.
really have a way to explain that one.
I know you're.
But I feel like Inosuke's would still be like technically stronger than Zenitsu because he just has more like variability in his techniques and more like opportunity to use his techniques better than Zenitsu. Other than speed, which he can only do so much in like attacking a villain or attacking a demon, but Inosuke can sense, change his body, move his muscles around, dislocate all of his joints, which is really weird, by the way. But
well, the whole organ thing I've already said, that's bullshit. Like, it shouldn't have happened. Like, that's one thing. But, I mean, yeah, variability is one thing, but, I mean, Zenitsu has mastered, like, fully perfected that one breathing technique to where, in my opinion, when he does that shit, he's, like, OP as fuck.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I wish he wasn't such a crybaby. Like, I wish it didn't take for him to be asleep to be that badass. Like, that's my only gripe about Zenitsu is it takes him being not conscious to be actually.
Man, I wish Zenitsu wasn't so annoying as a character.
Yeah.
I would like him more.
Because he's got so much battle acuity when he's asleep. Like, he was like really taking charge of that battle, which was really interesting. Like, he's like, Tanjiro do this, Inosuke do this, we gotta do this. He's like coordinating like attacks. And I was like, wow, just look how great you could be if you just quit being a bitch. But then they finally end up managing cutting her head off, and Tanjiro and Tengen end up cutting Gyotaro's head off. Both very satisfying moments, but they.
Yeah, I've seen like that. I knew that was like their official rank, but it just still made no sense. But I guess they said final chapter is why. Sorry, I was looking up their rank again because I remember that hearing their rank and that was Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke. But this is saying because of what happens in the final chapters, so that's for much later.
I'm excited for the rest of it to be animated. Like,
oh yeah.
Swordsmith Village is next, and that's going to be amazing.
I'm looking forward to that one because I feel like when I was reading the manga, I got confused with a lot of stuff as far as like the battle scenes and the abilities of the different demons in that arc. So I think seeing it animated will kind of clear some things up because a lot of that stuff I got way confused in.
Yeah. It'll just be good to see it. Okay.
Yes.
If we want to talk a bit about what happens in the Swordsmith Village, there will be, I think there will actually be 3 demons we meet in the next one.
Because I was gonna say because they battle the next 2 upper moons, if I remember.
Yeah.
We will.
The pot one.
We will meet the pot one. We will meet the small one. And then I believe we should meet Upper Moon 1.
I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I read that part.
Yeah.
Another ball game. Leave it there.
See, I thought we met. Okay, it's been, like I said, it's been a while since. I thought we didn't meet Upper Moon 1 until the very final, but that's. But he's a whole different bag of tricks. He's a whole different bag of tricks. I'm just gonna. But no,
it's not all poison. She can Nezuko's burning abilities stop demon techniques. It stops demon things. It destroys demon things. It destroyed the demon rope that they used in Mugen Train. That was a demon rope. It stopped because it was like his blood or whatever in the rope. And this poison is technically demon blood poison from Gitoro, so it destroys those things.
It's burning demon blood.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then the spider webs as well. It took that out.
Yeah, so that is what she can do. Nezuko can stop other demon blood arts, essentially.
She can burn demon blood.
Yeah.
He's like
in whatever form that it takes.
I did.
Yeah.
I think that I remembered that was gonna happen like right before it did with the whole Tengen thing. It's like, when Tengen's wives were all bitching and moaning, and he was kind of like, "I'm trying to let me say my final word."
I can still call
they
bullshit
wouldn't
though.
shut up. And I remember that that Tanjiro was like, "Why am I alive?" And we knew it was because Nezuko. Well, I remember that it was because Nezuko's fire saved Tanjiro and got rid of the poison. And same thing for Inosuke. When Tengen was there, I was kind of like, "Oh, that's right." I remember that Nezuko's gonna set him on fire, and they're gonna freak the fuck out. So when it happened, animated, it was the best.
It's too soon to be cremating him.
No, she's saving them, I promise.
Because she just
appeared explain
out
how
of
your power works before you just randomly use it on people.
Yeah, because baby Nezuko, she appeared out of nowhere so fast. It's like was all of a sudden there, and just held her hand up all cute, was like, and it set him on fire.
It's just I was like, I guess I love yeah.
I think what made me mad though, because I didn't remember this in the manga, when all of this happened.
Yeah, I love her
much,
face.
Very last episode, all of this stuff went down.
Such a serious moment too.
Everyone's done. Sorry, before that.
Oh, I'm gonna do this now.
The episode before final episode, when they finally, beat the brother and sister and then the demons, and we saw their head running, and then Tengen is screaming, "It's not over yet! Everybody run!" And then we see Gitoro's last-ditch effort, his blood sickles destroying the entire vicinity. And then the next episode, everybody survived. So kind of like what you were saying, Matt, where someone should have died. Right then and there, no shot. Everyone is weak. No one can move. What do you mean everyone survived this attack? Because we saw this attack slicing people earlier. So what do you mean everyone survived this? But then after that happened, and everyone got saved from Nezuko's, demon blood art, Obani, the snake demon slayer, the snake Hashira, he showed up.
He was right there. Yeah.
And I was like, bitch. Yes.
Yeah, that's.
Yes, bro. I was like, no shot. You just showed up when the battle's over. No shot. You just decided, hey, you guys are all almost dead. Oh, I'm here now. Can I help? Just kidding.
Tanjiro survived.
And then to insult Tengen like that, he was like, what are you doing? You lost an eye. You lost an arm against the 6th ranked demon. Like, come on, what are you a lowly ranked 6?
Yes.
This should have been an easy wipe for you, bro. You suck.
He wasn't
you need
that
to get
strong.
better, and you need to get back out here. You need to keep fighting. And then he was like, yeah, and he was like, I'm retiring. And he was like, what do you mean you're retiring? Nah, fam.
Who's going to replace you? And he's like, oh, Tanjiro.
Yeah, he was like,
wait,
we lost
Tanjiro, that dude?
We lost you. Yeah, that was crazy.
Nah,
it made me so mad. I was like, fuck this dude.
No, I'm good. I'm going to be happy now.
Gosh. But you love him more even later in the...
I don't give a fuck.
You mean that weakling?
It is kind of sad, though.
But yeah, I would call bullshit that he came at the last second and didn't even try and help with this demon.
Such an ass.
Or the town. He was like, there's innocents here still.
I was yeah, his backstory though. Oof.
I know they're all evacuating, but
it's like
he wanted to not do the path that his father and brother were doing as shinobi, and found
backstory of all the Hachira is
the
really
head
innocent
of the Demon Slayer corps, and kind of
why are you
went down the Hachira path after that.
He's really a Hachira.
But yeah, like I said, it's very innocent. Nothing about his backstory is. I mean, it is kind of tragic because in the shinobi village that he's from, I think what they said, 13 of them survived, but then at the end it became just him and his brother. Everyone died.
Yeah, he was the last left of his clan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't have like an immediate connection to any other demons. Like, hey, I'm doing this for revenge because demons ruined my life, which every other demon slayer has
Yes.
for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And my brother's sister's backstory was. I guess I'm done with like ugly characters. I think it's more because of the One Punch Man guy. Yeah, that which yeah, it's like so like any ugly backstory. I'm like yes, yeah, people hate you because you're
Yeah,
ugly.
he was riding on his sister's
I don't want to say
coattail.
it
He's like,
over,
"Oh, my
but
sister's so
it's over.
beautiful. Let me not
It's like yes,
let
and then he
like,
ruled the
hey, I have a
society for a little
beautiful
bit,
sister,"
and
which is like
and then he
you're
used his
showing her
sister
off kind of
to
like your
help
girlfriend or something.
him
Like
not
that's
be
I
just
don't
such
think he
your
was
a
family.
doing that. He was just
I guess to
protecting her
become
the
more
whole
shitty of a
time.
person before he found the demon. But
And I mean, they did live in the
They lived in the entertainment district.
where like beauty is the price of everything.
Yeah.
So
They were on the outskirts, and he was the ugly one, like ugly and scarred and sickly looking. So obviously, he was even more of an outcast. But then he found strength in the one sickle that he picked up from a dude who left it behind after a stay at one of the homes,
yeah,
and kind of
yeah,
found that as a way to fight. And once his sister came to be and was so beautiful, like he went on to protect her and grew up and was like kind of running the area because he could defend and protect, and was he found out that he was good at essentially killing. And then so he would like protect his sister. It wasn't really showing her off, it was just protecting her because obviously she was like the most beautiful around, but she was still a child. And when she became of age at 13, they were like trying to get her into the houses, and unfortunately she attacked a shinobi, and so they burned her ass alive. And then when he saw her in that burning ditch, when he returned from being away and tried to save her, he got also slashed from behind by that exact same shinobi because somebody else in the village paid it off because they were like, yeah, he's the one that's been attacking people or and doing XYZ, because he was pretty much like a mercenary. And they didn't like that either because obviously also because it was him. So then he was like, fuck that, got attacked from behind. They thought they had him beat, and he was like, nope, cut that shinobi clean in half, and then kill that lady first, real smooth, and then slice the shinobi in half.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, he deserved it. Or was it Shinobi? I thought it was Samurai.
Samurais. Sorry, yeah, I was saying shinobi. Yeah, he's a samurai. Yeah, was
We
saying
knew, but the
shinobi
viewers
without
might have known.
the Tengen stuff.
that Shinobi was a dick anyway.
Uh, but sad, but avoidable backstory. I mean, they could have just died, but
Yeah,
they did have
yeah,
just
yeah,
a shitty
yeah,
lot
yeah.
given
We
to
know who
them
we're
at the
talking
beginning of
about.
their lives.
But for yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But I like that it introduced Doma at the end, who was upper rank 6 at the time, now upper rank 2. So we'll get to learn. Yeah, we'll get to learn more about him, which is pretty cool. Yeah, God complex for sure with this guy. So yeah, it was overall Entertainment District was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Samurai District with us, Swordsmith Village would be even better. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, talking about
yes,
God
it should be.
complexes, man. Jesus.
Yeah, it should be Swordsmith. Yep, yep,
So probably 4 more seasons.
yep. That's how it should be. Swordsmith, Hashira training, final fight.
Uh,
So,
and then Asuka, he was like excited when they got thrown into the house. He's like, "Oh, one of the upper moons has died."
And then
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, one of the upper moons had died."
He didn't look excited to me.
Oh, he looked like he was interested. Asuka, the upper
Yeah,
rank 3.
Akaza upper rank 3. When he got there, he was like, if I'm someone at the Infinity Castle, that must mean an upper rank has died. He didn't look excited because I mean,
he looked like it was an oh shit moment.
yeah, it turned up to like an oh shit moment, like because he knows that Muzan is not a fan of when demons die, especially stronger ranked demons. So I don't think he'd ever be happy to be summoned by Muzan because somebody died. Because that means just like what happened with the lower ranks, that means Muzan's about to be pissed.
So
Yeah, but I feel like because he's always excited to fight someone strong. So like someone strong is finally coming along because this hasn't happened in centuries. Then Upper Moon Six has died. So
I, that's yeah.
Akaza didn't fight Tengen. Akaza fought Rengoku and died, and
That's
killed Rengoku.
I definitely feel you
he's
on that
mad at
one, Tom, because
Tanjiro.
I
He
did
didn't fight Tanjiro.
like yes, like
Well,
he was like oh
he's
shit,
just
but at the same
talking
time, it's
about like he
I
has
was
an
like oh I wonder who it would
antipathy
be. It's
for
like
Tanjiro
oh it's the
because like
person
he's
I
calling
fought
him out.
before
He's
he
like,
said it's
"Hey,
like oh
you
this I
coward!"
can
He's like, "I'm
actually
not a
battle
coward. I'm
again
literally just running
because
from the
he's an
sun.
actual
Otherwise,
human
I'd
being
come
in
in
the
over there
fight.
and kill you." But I think he's
No,
excited
but
before
like
he
no, he fought Tanjiro like when
because he was
Tanjiro did the
excited
thing,
for
and then
fighting
yeah, when
Rengoku
he was running away
because
during
he's like
the
actually giving
when
him a
Dawn was
challenge.
approaching.
He's not. Akaza is not luck. He's not wanting to fight any and everything that looks strong.
Okay, that's the vibe I get from him. But
Fighting for the sake of fighting.
The vibe I get is I'm fucked. We're all
Well,
fucked.
it is good though, because if you guys do remember what happens after the summoning is that we do get to see, if they do it, we do get to meet all of the rest of the upper ranks. So we will get to see everybody else. And
I mean,
in
he's in the
this
sub
part,
castle, but
it is
he's
Akaza does challenge Doma in this part. So we got to remember that too. So we will at least get to see a little bit of that.
the more interesting it gets. Gosh, if there's anything like this district, I was gonna say,
I'm so excited. Like I don't know, like the more upper demons are better than these.
but
They're just better. They're just
if
better
the animation's
overall
gonna be anything like this
in
district
general,
was, it's
and
gonna be
also the
great.
fight
Like
scenes coming up too, man.
these
I just don't.
animations
I
are
just.
just out of this world, and
I just want the fight. Same thing for the fight.
I can't wait
Like,
to see more
when the
bleeding
White's
techniques,
point of view
especially
is
the
like slow
missed
moving
Hashira.
swords.
He's gonna be cool. I like him.
Get that up close
He's got a
action.
sad backstory too. I mean, they all do. Oh, and then we get to meet the. No, I don't want to spoil it. The other demon slayer who's not a demon slayer. The one that can turn demons.
You're talking about the Wind Demon Slayer's brother.
Yes.
Yeah, we met him. Remember Matt? You remember at the what's it
Genya.
called? The course, the demon, like the course where everyone survives. He's the one who grabbed the girl and was like, "I want a sword." Yeah, him.
Like uses those pistols or like shotgun type gun.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Yeah, no,
I
I
feel like
like
you see
him.
him in his
That's a
power.
spoiler.
Yeah, where he is.
But yeah, overall, I guess to give a final like piece to the entertainment district.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I said eats things.
Animation wise, especially the last couple of episodes, solid 10 out of 10. Story wise, I still think the entertainment district arc is like a.
I was like, I can take that part out.
That's the rank I'm gonna give it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird because it's like one of the weaker sections, I believe. But it's still very entertaining. But I don't know. I guess I'm tired of the bullshit parts where it's like, oh, everybody dies and then everybody comes on.
I'd say animation definitely a 10. Story,
that's the link.
I think the story was kind of weak because there are a lot of plot holes. As we, yeah.
They make
so
the
I
opening and
probably give
everything.
it
They
like
make him
a 6 or a 7.
in my opinion, they made
It still,
makes
me love the characters, but it doesn't. It's not really the most cohesive, especially the fact that as soon as they get there, they find the demons when he's had his wives there for months and they've still been looking. And it just seems too easy. And then, like, at the end, the plot hole of that Snake Hashira coming and not doing anything. So, but overall, I'm still excited for the next season. What else is to come? Powers to be used.
What would you give it?
Probably like a 7 out of 10 for the story. Just because, again, I still feel gypped. I feel I feel the first season was so long, and then we waited so long, and we're gypped on actual like the length of the series. And I feel like they could have, I don't know, like maybe they could have gone into the next arc and not just made it. Because I don't know, I feel like what they gave us, maybe the entertainment arc wasn't enough for a full season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why they kind of made it all.
That's why they had like basically redid the train arc in episodes versus just keeping it as a movie because it wasn't.
I think the
Yeah.
I think the mistake was also making Mugen Train a movie. If Mugen Train was never a movie and you just let it be season 2 was Mugen Train and the Entertainment District arc, perfect.
Yeah.
But to have decided, hey, we're going to make the next part of Demon Slayer into a movie, and then after that be like, we're also going to make it this next part of the season, and then give you more of the season. Like that was the mistake. If they would have never made it a movie and just let it be the second season, that would have been the way to go. Because I feel like if you're going to make something a movie, it should be additional information, or you just skip like whatever you're going to do. Make it a good part. So Mugen Train was good. If you're going to make it a movie, then make it the movie, and then start season 2 from Entertainment District. Don't add it in. But to make it a movie and part of the season was the mistake.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I don't think it should have been. It's a movie, and then you start season 2 somewhere. I think it should have never been a movie. But yes, Matt, money grab, absolutely.
Yeah, and honestly, like if you're doing it so that you're making sure that every single one of your audience knows the full story, like it's on your audience for not going and seeing the movie. To be perfectly honest, like whoever, I don't think no one who was super into Demon Slayer didn't go see the movie and then was like, I'm just gonna watch season 2 and we're just gonna go from there.
Also, like if you had access to the season 2, you had access to the movie.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, like because it's on all the streaming platforms, so you're just trying to double dip at that point.
Yeah, so that's where I believe kind of brings it down for me as far like obviously the animation 10 out of 10, but like as far as the content of it brings it down for me because I personally I needed a lot more to carry me through this next lull until we get the next phase of Demon Slayer. Like it wasn't enough for me to feel satisfied in the coming, desert as far as Demon Slayer goes.
Yeah.
But good to watch. But we have another movie to watch coming on the way, but that's for another day. After Zero.
Well, guys, that kind of wraps up this episode of the podcast. The Demon Slayer Entertainment District arc was overall entertaining. It had some misses, but we all enjoyed it. It's over now. On to the next. If you haven't watched it yet, go. Obviously, you got spoiled listening to this episode, but definitely go and watch it. If you have the opportunity, also read the next arc in the manga, so that you get even more excited for it when it's animated. Because for all we know, it might be another year before we get to see it. Be sure to follow us on our social medias. We are on Instagram as The Anime Feast, on Twitter and Twitch and YouTube. TikTok and YouTube as Anime Feast. So be sure to subscribe, follow, give us your thoughts on everything, give us your feedback. And until next time.
Stay hungry, my friends.
Peace.
Peace.
Good episode, guys. Excited for the new Jujutsu Kaisen movie coming out next month. I went ahead and got us tickets, so.
Alamo.
Oh,
Peace.
Yeah. It's in Raleigh. Yeah, off of New Bern Avenue.
Oh man,
But
that's good.
also they have good food and they bring it to your chair.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
You get food and drinks while you sit down and watch a movie.
Sweet. For $4.45.
Draft House.
Alamo. Where is Alamo? I know I meant to him.
Yeah.
Similar to that.
So it's... Oh, so like
No.
like,
There are
Hollywood.
chairs, and there are chairs that have an actual like little table in front of you, like a little swing table, and so
they
pretty much
recline.
you sit down in it. You can recline the chair. There's a menu right there, and the waiter will act. There's a waiter for every section, so they'll come to you. Like you can sit down, they'll come to you, and they'll ask you, for you whatever drink order you want, whatever food order you want, and then when the movie starts, if you have a request, there's paper and pencil in front of you. So if you ever need anything, you just write it down on the piece of paper, stick it in the slot on your table, and they'll walk by, they'll pick it up and keep going. They'll read what you want and they'll bring it to you.
They have like a huge beer list too. So you have like over, I think, 30 drafts. But yeah, it's good. Alamo Draft House.
That's sweet. No, I'm excited.
Yeah, we went there. Yeah, we went there on Valentine's Day and saw Death on the Nile. Good movie.
Jesus.
If you're into like the murder mystery and you've seen Murder on the Orient Express, the new one, or the old one.
Actually, I've never heard of that area.
Oof. Well, guys, it was good. I'm gonna go drive to Fred Anderson to see if they are open to buy my car today. If they aren't, then I have to go another time. But I'm gonna go do since we don't need it anymore. So.
Oh, you guys are just gonna have one car?
Yeah. When we both work from home, we don't ever drive at the same time. So I'm gonna go sell it.
Good episode.
Okay. Getting that money.
Trying to. I'm out, but I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Peace.
Have a good one.